Justin, not Bibber. Don't get confused. We may look alike. Maybe not. But we certainly share the first name. Yes? Oh, yes. Here's a little joke to get your heads around this morning. Husband and wife. Husband and wife sitting on the sofa. Husband turns to the wife whilst watching TV and says, "My dear, we have been married a hell of a long time, haven't we?" And the wife says, "Yes, we have, dear. We have been married many, many years, many unforgettable years." Don't worry about the look, okay? No need to comment. Okay, I'm just playing the part. Okay, thank you. Yes, we have been married many, many years. Unforgettable years, in fact. The husband turns to the wife and says, "Do you remember on that occasion where I dropped and spilt that cup of coffee over our most expensive new rug? Do you remember that?" "Oh, yes, dear. How could I forget? You clumsily, stupidly dropped that very expensive cup of coffee on our even more expensive rug. How could I possibly forget?" "Yes, dear. And remember that time." Sorry about the accent change here, people. Not great at acting, but I'm trying. Okay, persevere. Okay, please. Okay. Do you remember that time when we went out and I forgot the keys in the house? "Oh, yes, dear. How could I forget that? Oh, you were so silly, weren't you? We were locked out for hours, and to add to it, it was raining at the time. Wasn't it, dear?" "Yeah, okay, you no need to go on about that rain. I know it was raining. I know we got wet and all that. But yeah, I clumsily, stupidly, inconveniently left the keys indoors, didn't I? Oh, how crazy, how silly of me. I won't do that again, will I now, dear?" "No, you won't, dear, will you? No, you will never forget that, nor will you ever live that down, because I will always remind you of that day. Don't forget, I will remind you every single day of the day that you left your keys indoors and we were out in the rain for hours." Can we continue the conversation, please, dear? Of course we can, dear. I'd just like to remind you of all those times we've spent together. Now, do you remember the time that we were late for that shopping trip and we missed the bus? And again, we got incredibly wet. How can I forget, dear? And even more stupidly, you left the umbrella indoors, didn't you? With your keys that you also left indoors. That's right, dear. How could I forget? I'm trying to forget. You keep reminding me. That's what I'm here for, love. I'm here to remind you. Don't forget. That's my job, to remind you. Yeah, come to think of it, dear. Whenever we have any of these mishaps in life, you always seem to be there, don't you? Oh, yes, dear. As I said at the very beginning, we have been together. We have been together for many, many years. More years than I can remember. Yep, you can certainly say that, love. But just one thing, whenever anything bad seems to happen, you always seem to be there. You're nothing but a jinx woman, are you? Ha ha ha.